If you're tired of being stuck in that never-ending cycle of being broke and stressed out, you gotta focus on just one thing, making your first $10,000. Okay, let's get into this, because making that first 10 grand is an absolute game changer. It's not about getting lucky, it's about building a real skill you can lean on for the rest of your life. So here's the game plan. We're gonna break this whole journey down into 4 simple parts. First, we'll talk about the 10K challenge and why that number is so critical. Then, we'll look at the 4 main paths to actually get that cash. After that, we'll dive into the skill pyramid to scale up. And finally, we'll cover how to turn that income into real long-term wealth. So, why $10,000? Why this number? Because that first $10,000 is, without a doubt, the hardest money you will ever make. It's your proof of concept. Once you hit this goal, you've basically cracked the code. Seriously, it's the key that unlocks everything else in your financial future. And this right here, this quote just nails why that first 10 grand matters so much. It's not really about the money itself, it's about the proof. It's proof that you have built a repeatable process for making money. Once you do it, you know you can do it again and again. And that belief, that skill, is how you scale it into serious wealth. All right, let's jump into section 1, the 10K challenge. We're gonna really unpack why hitting this number changes pretty much everything for you. You see this all the time, right? So many people fall into the trap on the left, chasing these get-rich-quick schemes like crypto pumps or day trading. The problem? You need a ton of cash to start, and honestly, you're mostly just relying on luck. The smarter path, the one over on the right, is a real hustle, something with super low startup costs that constantly puts actual cash in your pocket. Okay, on to section 2, 4 paths to cash. When you strip away all the noise and all the complicated business ideas out there are really only 4 fundamental ways to earn that first dollar. Let's figure out the right one for you. So here are your 4 options. Path 1, in-person services, gets you cash the fastest, but you're always going to be limited by your time and where you live. Path 2, local products, is an awesome way to make money from a hobby, but the profit margins are usually pretty low. Path 3, global products. Think something like dropshipping, gives you massive reach, but it takes time to build up. And then there's the 4th option, online services. And this is the one we are going to focus on. Why? Because selling online services, things like video editing, writing marketing copy, or managing social media, it combines the best of all worlds. You get the global reach of a product business, but with these insane 70 to 80% profit margins. That money goes straight into your pocket. It is by far the fastest path to scale. So, you've chosen your path. Awesome. Welcome to section 3, the skill pyramid. Now, this is the 4-part framework to turn any basic skill into a $10,000 a month income. If you miss even one of these steps, you'll stay stuck, so listen up. The base of the pyramid is positioning, and here's the secret. Businesses think about money completely differently than regular people. Spending $2 grand to solve a problem is nothing to them if it helps them make even more. So, instead of editing videos for a tiny YouTuber, edit them for an entrepreneur selling a course. Don't write cheap blog posts, write sales copy for a company's website. You're not even learning new skills. You're just putting your existing ones where the money is already flowing. Next up is leverage. You will never make $10,000 a month charging by the hour. It just won't happen. Businesses don't pay for your effort. They pay for results. Think about it. If you run their ads and charge hourly, they're going to want to keep your hours low. But if you charge based on the money you bring them, they'll happily pay you more and more because they're focused on the profit you're generating for them. You have to shift your pitch from what you do to what they gain. The 3rd element is reach. You have to stop chasing clients. Instead, you need to make them come to you. So how do you do that? Well, there's this great story about a guy who was just posting these cool movie-style posters he made on TikTok for fun. Next thing you know, his inbox was flooded with requests and he accidentally turned a hobby into a full-blown business. That's the power of building in public. Show your work. Show the before and after edits. Explain why your thumbnail design got more clicks. Just document your process and the clients will find you. And finally, the top of the pyramid, automation. Now this is the one most people totally miss. The thing that will make you stand out isn't just your talent, it's your reliability. Seriously. The people getting paid thousands of dollars aren't always the most skilled. They're the most organized. They never miss a deadline. They communicate clearly. You need to use systems, not just your brain, to track clients and projects. That's how you become someone people can count on, and that's who gets the big checks. And now, we've made it to the final and, honestly, the most important part. Section 4, from income to wealth.
Because, look, making money is one thing. Keeping it and, more importantly, growing it, that's a whole different ballgame.
This all comes down to one single fundamental mindset shift. You see, the rich, they see income as something to spend, but the wealthy, they see income as a tool to make more money. Your goal isn't to be rich, your goal is to be wealthy. So, how do we actually do this? First things first, you build a safety net in a high-yield savings account. This isn't for getting rich, this is your oh crap fund, so you're never forced to sell your investments at a bad time. Next up, index funds like the S&P 500. Just think of it like buying a tiny little piece of the 500 biggest companies all at once. It's a super simple way to get diversified, low-maintenance growth. From there, you can explore individual stocks to get some hands-on experience. And finally, crypto, which is very high risk, but hey, it has high potential. Now, let's just focus on those index funds for a second. The average return of the S&P 500 over the last 10 years has been over 10%. Now, I know that number might not sound crazy, but when you combine it with time, the results are absolutely staggering. You've probably heard that old saying, it only takes the price of a coffee a day to become a millionaire. Well, guess what? It's literally true. If you invested just $5 a day from age 18 to 67 and you got that average 10% return, you would retire with over $1 million. That is the power of compounding. It's where your money starts making its own money, and then that money starts making money. It becomes this unstoppable snowball effect. So, there you have it. The path is clear. It's not about some secret trick or a lucky break. It's about building a skill, applying a proven framework, and then putting your money to work for you. You now have the entire blueprint to go from $0 to $10,000 and from $10,000 to $1 million. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it?